Hello my loves, and welcome back to Bahati Life YouTube channel. If you're meeting for the first time, welcome, and for those of you that are old friends and family, welcome back. So this morning the message that came through was stop trying. Just simply stop trying. And this obviously it's pretty obvious, but when I sat with it a little further, I felt like it had a lot to do with something someone was putting a lot of energy and effort, like exerting a lot of themselves, hoping that there would be a turnaround, hoping that there would be respect and love. And I don't know why I'm hearing the word admiration, like admiration that is gained or garnered from the amount of different ways that I feel Spirit is showing me that you're trying to show up and prove yourself. As I sat with the words just stop trying, like stop trying, it felt like there is a distinction between working very hard and working to prove yourself in the places that it matters. And then in this situation, it felt like you're doing too much. Like it's one thing, again, to work hard, to be a person that shows up and proves yourself and shows that you're a good person or shows that you have good character. And there's another time and some places where regardless of how hard you try, you will be misunderstood, you will be misrepresented, you will be hated on, you will not be respected, you will be devalued. Now, I oftentimes ask the divine if this has to do with love and relationships or money, career. This actually felt like friendship. This actually felt like community, places where you shouldn't have to try so hard, where if they're not willing to accept you, whoever these people are, this is a very specific message. If they're not willing to accept you, if they're not open to accepting you, you would have seen it by now. Like you would have, if they still to this day are giving you a hard time, if they still to this day are saying things or being disrespectful or just not pleased in how you're showing up. And when I sat with this message, it actually felt like the divine was showing me of a person with a genuine good heart. And this is to say that most of us, I feel like, have good hearts, but then there's people who, when they make a mistake, they genuinely feel so bad. Like as human beings, we know that we're not perfect, but this person, when they make a mistake, they're just really trying not to hurt anyone in the process. They're not trying to disappoint anyone. They're not trying to, do any harm and damage. And in the process of just being a human or with life, things happen the way that they do. And for whatever reason, they have not been able to pick up the pieces of how something quote unquote dropped. And I also, as I'm saying that, Spirit is actually showing me that whatever the situation is, it's almost like the punishment doesn't match what the action. So this situation feels very drawn out. It feels very exaggerated. It feels very dramatic. It feels larger than it should be. And this goes to show that this place, these people, this person, if they genuinely had the intention or were open-minded and open-hearted to respect you, to care for you, to forgive you, to move forward, to build friendship, to build community, it would have happened by now, because the divine has already shown me how much effort you have already put in to try to repair any damage or to make other people feel comfortable or to be inclusive or whatever the case is. There was something else that I wanted to say. There's this piece of this message that felt like some of you will really feel like you're having to start over. I also got a message, with this, it might not feel as big and as elaborate as I'm saying it right now. It could be something like the action that happened. It could be something it could be like someone just being really snarky with you, snappy, just rude. The energy is off. And there's something about, when you hear me say this is a specific message for someone. When you hear me say this to you, when I'm telling you that this message goes to you, you might even first reject it and say, no, this isn't meant for me, because I know this person, or, you know, it's not dramatic. The thing is that the divine is showing me that even the small thing of like looking at you like you're annoying, like, I hope I'm being clear here. I really hope I'm being clear, because I don't know how else to say this. Like, even the small action of looking at someone who is trying to be kind and trying to offer someone something, and just looking at them like, oh my God, like just giving them a hard time, the divine is looking at that as a bigger like a bigger thing than that person who's on the receiving end of that like being, like being picked on, so to speak. And it may not be obvious. That's the other thing too. This energy may not be obvious, but the divine is literally saying, like, listen, in this circumstance, it's big to us. It's big to the people that care about you. It's big to your angelic team. It's big to the divine. It's big to, you know, your ancestors, because they know that the intention of that person is not coming from a positive, loving, open-hearted space. Now, everyone's circumstances are going to be different. Clearly, we're in a season in history where a lot of people are going through some stuff. But in those moments, this is where community and friendship and bonding and peace has to happen. It has to live within the people that you're spending time with, or it will just act like a cancer and it will grow. So that's why, for the person that this message is for, if you're the one who's being bullied, if you're the one who people are picking on you, even lightly picking on you, or irritated with you, or they're just making it harder for you to connect with them, for you to come together with them, for you to bond with them, the relationship has shifted, the energy is off, the energy is off. The divine is saying that this to spirit, and this is your angels and your guides and your spirit team, is a big deal. And you may not necessarily see it as that, but when you have anybody in your circle that is disrespecting you or doesn't want you close to them, and they're showing that regardless of the history, regardless of the expectations, regardless of the boundaries of the relationship, this is a time where it's very important for you to stop trying. Stop trying. And this kind of leads me to the next part of this message that I hope I'm going to get up shortly after. Hopefully there won't be too many distractions, but there's a second part to this message, and that has a lot to do with being okay with letting energies go, or being okay with things being hands off and you not trying so hard anymore. Is that something that you can get comfortable with? Is that something that you can explore right now? And for some of you guys, it's going to be tough, because it will be the places that you thought were stable and concrete, and that this is a place that you can that you can have trust and support and love and connection and community. And sometimes in those places, the energy and the vibes are off. And it's absolutely in your best interest, at least from what I heard this late morning, this late afternoon, or early afternoon. It's just stop trying in this place. What does stop trying look like? It means don't try to look for new ways to appease this person. Don't look for new ways to initiate conversation with this person, or to initiate energy in this space. Don't try to over-compromise. Do not look for additional clarification. You don't need to disconnect. It doesn't need to be dramatic, but it just needs to be a little bit more about what's in your best interest and what protects and preserves your peace right now. Because whatever this is, and honestly, I just heard this, it might actually snowball further when you get quiet or when you stop trying. Because again, this person, I don't want to say that they were getting off, because it doesn't seem that way, but they were getting some type of weird benefit or satisfaction in you being uncomfortable with the fact that they were uncomfortable with you. Like, does that make sense? Like, they get some type of satisfaction in the fact that you are trying to appease them or trying to show up for them, and that they cannot, like, they'll never find like gratification. Like, they'll never be able to, whatever you're doing, it will never be good enough. And it doesn't even seem like it's a loud, clear, like it's subtle. Like, that's the weird thing. It feels very subtle. And that's the other thing too. Like, that's how you know this person. This is why the divine's saying stop trying, because it's so subtle. Like, their dissatisfaction, that it would almost make the person who's on the receiving end of it be like, is it me? And then they start trying harder. It's not you, boo. It's them. And minimum, just stop trying. And I think that when you do, this person is going to get agitated and irritated. They're then going to almost flip it and be like, well, you stop texting me, or you stop calling, or you stop trying, or whatever the case is. They're not going to be able to take accountability. And I have to tell you that the divine is saying, like, you're going to need to get comfortable with the idea that this person and this energy is, they're really not willing to meet halfway. They're not good. Their energy is off. So I do want to prepare you for that a little bit. If there's any further information or vibes that come with that, I'll share. But for right now, that is the message. I'm really setting intention for the people that this message is for your peace, also for your happiness, and also for your contentment. It honestly makes me sick to my stomach to hear or feel that someone is not, like, when you have a good person who's actually trying, and there's people who are committed to being dissatisfied and frustrated and annoyed with that. I know what that feels like, and that is not a good feeling, and it makes me sick to my stomach. So someone here is just like, you need to know that it's in your best interest today to stop trying. And for you, I call out for peace and contentment and joy and happiness and the bliss of enjoying your own company, or enjoying people, places that do love you and do respect you, and that you don't have to tolerate even the subtle nuances of this energy that is exuding off of this person, because it is not the vibe. Okay, so I hope that you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I hope that you were able to eat. I hope that you were able to spend time with your family or your friends or with yourself, that it was nourishing, that it was good for you. And I will see you guys in my next video. Please do give this video a thumbs up. It does make a difference to me and my YouTube channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.